What's up guys, welcome back or to the channel. Today I've got some bad news. These aren't the videos I like making. Definitely I don't enjoy this, but I think we've destroyed the TJ again. And I know we put it through quite a bit, but we don't go that crazy. We don't go all out. At least I don't think we do. But we actually pretty much put it out of commission again. And the first thing that I can tell you is the tire is flat. Again, if you remember, I just changed the valves on this one, the spare, and on this guy right here. Now, unfortunately, that one is flat again. I'm guessing it's just the valve, which isn't too big of a fix, but that's the least of my worries. If you guys remember from my last off-roading video or from my last trail, we had a lot of clicking, and you guys heard I'll play a sound clip for you guys right now. Okay. And basically, yeah, we had a lot of clicking, and I thought it was my U-joint. And when my buddy was looking underneath the Jeep and he was trying to check it out for me when I was just crawling, he said that he saw the U-joint at the transfer case, so not at the diff, but at the transfer case on the rear drive shaft. It started to lock up and seize a little bit. So we thought, okay, it's a U-joint. I'm gonna have to change the U-joint, which I've already changed twice this year, but okay. So we decided we'll take it easy, we'll limp it off the trail, and we'll be good. Well, that's when things got real interesting. On my way home, my buddy actually exploded his rear drive shaft. The CV joint exploded, it caught fire, he had a fire underneath his Jeep. Luckily, I pulled over with him, we caught it, and nothing bad happened, we got it out. But it is something that we had to deal with. And at that point, his rear U-joint wasn't even making noise, or his CV joint wasn't making noise. Nothing was suspicious, and nothing gave us the thought that it would be bad. So he didn't make it back. When I got probably like another hour down the road, because it's a 3-hour drive, when I got another hour down the road, I heard a bad clicking, and it got to the point where it would lock up the Jeep, and I'd be driving. I don't have a video of it. I wish I got a video for you guys, but I was driving, and it would basically, you'd be going along and it would rev the engine out because it would lock up the back. So you'd be going and it'd be going, and as it makes that rev, it would lock up the back, and you would feel it kind of like shimmy, and it wasn't a good feeling. So I limped it home. Eventually, I thought it was the U-joint the whole way. Eventually, things went south, and well, it started to pop and click, and it just popped and exploded, and it was the transfer case. The transfer case actually grenaded itself, and what happened from there was the transfer case no longer was giving power to the rear. So I was basically like, I was in neutral. No matter what gear I was in, I could put it in first, second, and as I was giving it gas and letting off the clutch, it would not do anything. It wouldn't move. So I pulled over, I pushed it over. I was in the middle lane. Usually I actually drive in the right lane, but there was a lot of people coming on and off the highway at that point, so I was in the middle lane, because trust me, when you drive a TJ with big wheels like this, you're not going to be going much faster than in the slow lane. So I ended up having to push it from the middle lane to the side of the highway. So I pushed it over like 2-3 lanes, because there was another lane that was entering, so it was like 3 lanes I had to get across. Once I got it to the side of the highway, I looked at it and I thought it was dicked. I thought we were done. I thought we were not gonna get it home. But at that point, what I did was I got underneath the Jeep, and I saw that the shaft was just spinning. You could spin the shaft, and well, as far as you could spin it with the back wheels still connected, but it wasn't giving any power or any resistance from the actual transfer case, and that's a bad sign. So at that point, I put it in 4-wheel drive, and I managed to move the Jeep, and I limped it home. Probably going like 20 kilometers an hour. Took me quite a while, but I got it home, and we got it back. So now I know it is my transfer case. I'm guessing that when I did that climb, because I'll show you guys a clip of the climb I'm talking about. Yeah, when I did that, you can see my rear drive shaft and my skid plate touch. My theory is when my drive shaft touched, I was still giving power, and it kind of skipped a tooth or skipped a gear or chipped a tooth or something inside the transfer case, because the transfer case runs on a chain. So I don't know if the chain got damaged or the teeth got damaged, but something in there wasn't happy. Definitely it wasn't happy. So at that point, yeah, we got it home and here it is. So let's take a look underneath real quick and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do to fix it. So what are we looking at back here? Well, you can see there is no resistance really inside the transfer case. You shouldn't really be able to move this that much. And at this point, I can tell you that the first thing we're gonna have to do is take out the transfer case. And I do have another one on the way. Luckily, my buddy Darnell found me one for $100. That's right, $100. I don't believe it, but luckily he's the man. He did it, he found it. It's on its way. Obviously, it's not a new one. You probably can't even find new ones for these at this point. You can get an upgraded one. But for now, we're gonna be replacing it with a used version of the same thing. And I am gonna have to end up taking this shaft out and taking this entire transfer case out. Now, as you guys can see here, this is a slip yoke. So because I don't have the slip yoke eliminator, or I don't have a Rubicon case, I'm gonna have to remove the rear drive shaft, take off the bolts here on the U-joint here, and then slide it out. So that is gonna be our next step. That is gonna be the first thing we have to do. So let's take it out right now and let's see if the transfer case free spins still. There we go. So now that it's not connected to the rear, for some reason it still holds. So to be honest with you, I don't know what the issue is, but it's not this U-joint. As you guys can see, the U-joint's not making noise. So the U-joint is good. The back one isn't making noise either. Okay, so I reinstalled the drive shaft because if it is the transmission, or it is the transfer case, it shouldn't be rolling. Like, I mean, it shouldn't it should want to spin freely. Like you guys saw a second ago, it wasn't free spinning, which is making me think it might not be the transfer case. So I don't want to change out the transfer case for no reason if it isn't. But the only reason I'm thinking it is the transfer case is because when I had it in gear in rear wheel drive, it was not moving. So now let's try to recreate that. So I've got it here all the way down in rear. It's in neutral. Put it in first. If we let go of the clutch, yeah, no, that does not sound good. I'm thinking it might be my diff. I think we chipped a tooth in the diff and the diff is fucked. That's a no bueno. Well, my buddy's here right now, so he'll help me out. He'll let me know exactly what we're dealing with here. Dog, I think it might be the diff.
Yeah?
Come here. So I'm gonna spin it right now. You tell me if it's spinning, if the drive shaft is spinning,
yeah,
and if the rear, if it's just doing its thing and the rear is all fucking beat to shit.
Yeah. Go again.
Okay, so it's the rear diff. I knew that those things are pretty much as strong as a wet paper bag, but I thought it would last me a little bit longer than this, but I'm guessing the gears inside are just totally toasted and they shattered themselves. Give me a minute to figure this out and I'll update you guys in a second. Well, so it is the rear axle. It is something inside the diff. The only reason I'm not going to rip it apart in front of you guys right now is I don't have fluid to replace it with, and I don't really want to rip it apart and then have to, whatever the case is. I want to have all the parts I need to finish the job. right now, we figured out that we're gonna take it apart tomorrow, and we're gonna see. I think it's the pinion gear because it's basically not spinning in, it's not giving any power to the actual axle, like the axle just spins. So I'm thinking it's the pinion gear. We're gonna rip it apart tomorrow and we're gonna see exactly what it is. Hopefully we can figure that out, and hopefully it's not a big fix, but I knew that these axles are pretty much garbage and I do need to upgrade. We will be upgrading, and the reason I'm not upgrading right now is because I don't have the money to go and buy a brand new axle. I don't have the money to go buy 44s, so I'm gonna fix this one for now and we will upgrade in the future, but it is what it is. And one more thing that I found out, as you can see, she's leaning a bit. And she's been leaning a bit for a while, and I haven't really known why. And I just filled this tire back up, so it's not the air in the tire, but I think I figured it out. Now, I'm not gonna call out the guy who did this because I don't know if it was him or what the case was or why it's like this, but if you look at this spring right here, you see how it's seated, you see the big gap up there, and you see how these two are touching? Come over with me to the driver's side, I should say. And you can see how those two coils at the top are touching, and you have the big gap here. It's literally a mirror image, which means one of these is upside down. I'm guessing it is the passenger side because that's the side that's drooping, and that's not a good thing. Tomorrow when we do rip it apart, I might end up fixing it myself and just flipping the spring. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna call anybody out because the guy usually does really great work, and I don't know if he farmed this one out and gave it to someone else to do or what the issue was, or maybe he was busy. Either way, we're gonna have to figure this one out and we're gonna have to go and get it fixed. The front springs are seated as they should be. It's just the rear. So the case is we need to go and figure out the rear axle. We need to go figure out that rear spring, and then we can probably get it back on the road and get it back on the trail. I was expecting that axle to give up sooner or later, hopefully not sooner. It gave up. It is what it is. At this point, we're gonna have to fix it, so stay tuned for that video. This is basically just an update, that's why it's a little bit shorter, but we destroyed it again, unfortunately. So guys, we will be fixing it tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will be there with us in that video. If you're new around here, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think is wrong with it, because I don't want to be taking things apart for no reason. So until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.